Battered body of greens vendor found in Cummings Lodge home. Bandits strike in Eccles once again. Gunmen beat rob Parfait Harmony family. Prince Harry to visit Guyana. GPSU reminds government of 1999 strike. And Miss Guyana Universe 2016 delegates searched. Good evening, I'm Edward Lane with this edition of the Evening News. The battered body of a greens vendor was on Sunday evening found in the kitchen in the lower flat of her two-story wooden house. Bisham Mohammed has the details in this report.
48-year-old Anita Mohan of Lot 315 5th Street, Cummings Lodge, Greater Georgetown, was on Sunday evening found in a pool of blood by her son after he returned home from work. The woman was found with her head bashed in and a stab wound to her chest. A rolling pin suspected to be one of the murder weapons was found in close proximity of the now-dead woman. A plate containing food was also found on a shelf in the kitchen. Based on information received, a nephew who was with her during the course of the day was arrested and is being treated as the main suspect. At home on Monday morning, Rosita Sarbjeet, a sister of the dead woman, related that she was at home when she heard her nephew calling out to her.
Yesterday, around after 4, his son came home from work and he called from his auntie mama, come quick, auntie mama, they come see what somebody doing more there. When we go in the kitchen, that boy saw my sister, I just look, we see my sister's face in a pool of blood. I couldn't look at it and fall. And after that, I didn't know anything. But one nephew stay with her, and he disappear and go over there and sleep, and he never do it.
The woman is holding out that the nephew in custody had to be the culprit, since he was the only person with the now dead woman during the day.
My nephew was here yesterday morning drinking and playing music hard from 9 o'clock, and my sister and my nephew alone was here, and my nephew was drunk and he was playing music so hard that people couldn't hear nothing.
However, an aunt of the dead woman explained that she was at church when she received the dreaded news, but rushed to the scene.
I saw her on the ground like this way, with this blood in her face, and a buckle by the hair, and the roti, the thing, the bell was buried, the roti on the shelf.
But if the bell and so had blood on it?
Yeah, and the buckle. Most naturally, she get beaten her head.
The Evening News understands that the bedroom belonging to the now dead woman was ransacked and a quantity of money missing. The police are continuing to grill the prime suspect in the murder with the hope of getting a confession. Bisham Mohammed, The Evening News.
Thanks, Bisham. As crime continues to spiral out of control, bandits on Sunday evening executed a robbery at Eccles, East Bank Demerara. The men gained access to the house by drilling a hole in the walls. Details in this report.
A resident of the Young Professionals Housing Scheme, Eccles, East Bank Demerara, returned home at about midnight on Sunday to be greeted by a ransacked house and several items missing. The woman immediately telephoned the landlord, Raj Balram, who rushed to the scene, and upon checking, the duo stumbled upon a hole in the northern side of the flat concrete house. The police were summoned and have launched an investigation. At the home on Monday morning, Balram explained when he would have received the information about the robbery.
Minutes after 12 o'clock, that's when my tenant came in.
And what did she tell you?
She was actually crying when she called me. She was like, Raj, and at first when I heard the voice, I thought it was somebody else, like my wife's sister. And I realized, then she said, it's Judy. And I said, Judy, what happened? She said, she in front of the house. The house get breaking into. And I was lying on my bed. I just fly out. Then she telling me what happened. Then I came over here and I see what happened. I asked her what happened. She said she left home about 8 o'clock to go to the Amerindian Heritage. They had something.
Balram related that it was after close examination that they found the hole in the wall. He nevertheless listed some of the items that were stolen from the property.
When she come back, she see the house inside. Look a little rumpled up and stuff. And start walking around and she check in. That's the first thing she noticed, her phone was gone because I think it was on the sofa, and her laptop, and also steal her glasses. And then when she said she walk and go a little more, she see like fine pebbles on the floor. As she walk and go in, she noticed the hole in the wall.
As the police arrived, they allegedly claimed that fingerprinting cannot be done and promised to return, but up to late Monday afternoon, he was still waiting.
We called the police, yeah, they took a little while to come. Then when they come, they talk and take information and whatever. They said they couldn't take fingerprint, they had nobody there at night. we're still waiting actually on them right now.
Meanwhile, Balram, who lived a few houses away, claimed that he was also a victim of armed robbery. He disclosed that several members of the community are petitioning the Ministry of Communities to make the area gated.
Well, honestly, right now, I am actually doing a petition to get this neighborhood gated off.
This was the 5th robbery to have been reported to the police in that area for the past month. Ramona Luti reporting for the Evening News.
We now tell you that 2 persons are nursing injuries after 7 gunmen carried out a brazen robbery on a Parfait Harmony business earlier today. Those injured are Farah Mohammed, 33, and her brother Navin Mulidar. They were reportedly beaten during the 15-minute ordeal. According to information, 7 men exited a pink and white Route 48 minibus and ordered a bottle of water. As Mohammed took the water to the men, she was held at gunpoint and ordered to open the door. In fear, she complied, and in doing so, she was dealt several blows to her body before the men fled the scene with a quantity of jewelry and an undisclosed sum of cash. The woman's brother, who was in the yard at the time, was beaten, bound and gagged. The neighbors were subsequently alerted and rushed to assist the two. The police have launched an investigation. Acting Commissioner of Police David Ramnarine disclosed on Saturday that there has been an increase of applications from former members of the Guyana Police Force who wants to rejoin the agency. Details from Alexis Rodney.
According to Ramnarine, the force most recently has been seeing an increase in applications from former officers to rejoin the organization. However, according to him, some of those applications will never be considered. According to the acting top cop, former officers have written to senior government officials, claiming that they were unjustifiably dismissed, among other reasons. However, a look at their file tells a different story.
When the staff officer brings up the file and you see, for example, a constable in a small number of years of service has 40 charge sheets, has over 400 days sick leave. Are you telling me that this is someone that we should re-employ in this Guyana Police Force? That must be the height of stupidity for me to agree for reinstatement.
Ramnarine said persons can write to whomever they want, pointing out that the force is now a public place with nothing to hide. He said too that he has no problem with former members turning to government officials instead of approaching the force itself for reinstatement. However, he cautioned that there will be repercussions.
No problem. That's the way things are now. It's been so for some while. But it's a response that will be given where your dirty conduct will be exposed now. It was remaining quiet in a file, but it's going public now. That's because you want it that way. You didn't give me any choice.
According to the acting commissioner, the same practice obtains within the police force, whereby ranks go over their divisional commanders and write to the commissioner of police about issues that could be dealt with at the divisional level. Ramnarine said that he will not encourage such practice where ranks undermine their commanders.
Thanks, Alexis. With more than $6.8 billion set aside in the 2016 budget to cater for salary increases for public servants, the Ghana Public Service Union is warning the government to be guided by the history, especially the 1999 strike, which lasted for 57 days that led to arbitration over the deadlocked salary talks. Alexis Rodney again reports.
Ghana Public Service Union President Patrick Yard over the weekend accused the government of horse trading over its publicly stated position that it will go ahead and make an arbitrary award in face of the union's refusal of the differentiated 10% to 1% salary increases for public servants. Yard has since also sought to remind government that it had campaigned on a promise to pay public servants decent wages and salaries. According to him, rather than address workers' wages and salaries and conditions of work, government instead opted to increase its own salaries by as much as 50%. He said, quote, "This act is unpardonable in this society. For the government to believe that their decision will be easily forgotten, much more has to be done at the bargaining table for workers not to believe that the increases paid to the cabinet and MPs were not self-serving," unquote. Yard, in his public missive over the weekend, said that the outcome of any negotiation that is considered just is one where the results are agreed upon by the parties involved. He said the GPSU rejected the wage and salary offer, and for government to state that the position put forward to the union is final and that it will go ahead and implement it even if the union has not accepted, same as a breach of trust and can be described as evidence of bad faith negotiations. He proclaimed that negotiation requires constructive engagement built on mutual respect which will guide arriving at a package agreed on by the employer and workers' representatives. This government, he said, has failed in upholding these basic principles and is urged to learn and be guided by the lesson of history and return to the negotiation table. For the Evening News, Alexis Rodney.
You're watching the Evening News. More still ahead after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. A 47-year-old farmer is in the process of filing a lawsuit against the Region 4 Regional Democratic Council following the destruction of his farm at Cane Grove, East Coast, Demerara. Davina Samaru has the details in this report.
A guy tell me, man, go see what happened to your garden down there. So when I go, Mr. Lombard and two black guys, they're in the farm. So when I start to holler, I say, what you all doing? This is my living. What you all doing? And say, shut me out before and lock me. They bring me 4 police. Shut me out before and lock you up. Mr. Sir, if you want the dam, please let me report my cabinet and start it sharp, sir. And I holler, I don't know what to do. And the place was full of people and everybody say, what do they do? Let him out report the crap and then you all going to take if they want, please. Then stop out everything, so I go home and I start to cry.
Hemkaran Narayan of Strathaven Cane Grove got into the business of cash crop after he was thrown into the unemployment bracket following the closure of a local rice industry last year. He claimed that his crops were planted on an abandoned dam without approval from the relevant authorities. He is also holding out that the other farmers who also utilized the land to plant their crops did not have the necessary approval. It therefore came as a major shock when he visited the land on Friday morning to see 2 hired laborers destroying his crops only, claiming that he has no legal right to use the property while leaving the other farms unharmed.
Previous week before, I just leave early in the morning, 5 o'clock to go to water plant because when they pumping the water out, I can't get water to water the plant. So I go 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't drink a cup of tea, I don't wake my wife on the bed, I can't go water this plant and then I come home and drink something. Mr. Nirulal throwing 2 big bag of garbage in front of me what I dip in the water. Mr. Big Man, you can't do that. When you take this garbage and throw them there and you go to the pump, somebody else got to pick it up. Mr. Big Man, he turned and tell me, sir, he got show me that me gotta move from there, no PNC time. So I balish off as normal because I don't make problem with nobody. I balish off. He let me 8 days after, sir, it's like he paid him on his cover, destroy me crap. And was people plant on the right hand side, on the left hand side, and way down, and nobody else doing any trouble. Only shower, over 2,000 before. That a job for me and my wife, I work hard, sir.
Through attorney at law Anil Nandlal, Narayan will be filing a lawsuit against the senior council member, whom he believes is responsible for the discriminatory act.
Why was this gentleman's plants or farm alone identified and destroyed, and the persons who have planted both in front of him and at the back of him, their farms have not been touched? So that smacks of some kind of vendetta, vindictiveness and witch hunting.
Nandlal also argued that the senior RDC official has no jurisdiction over such matters, but rather it is a responsibility of the NDC. Moreover, he contended that even if someone is trespassing or squatting on government property, the law prescribes that an eviction notice should be sent to the defaulter before any further action is taken. Reporting for the Evening News, Davina Samaru.
Thanks, Davina. Guyana will later this year be graced with the presence of Prince Harry, the British High Commissioner to Guyana has announced. Details on this report.
According to a statement from the High Commissioner's office on Monday, Quinn confirmed that the younger of Princess Diana and Prince Charles' sons will be visiting Guyana later this year. The statement said that the visit will be the first by a member of the royal family since 2004 and comes in the year of Guyana's 50th anniversary of independence. It said it is therefore a particularly relevant time for such a visit. According to the release, Prince Harry will make the official visit to the Caribbean in late autumn on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen. He is slated to visit Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Grenada, Guyana, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. According to the High Commissioner, the visit falls on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of independence for Barbados, the 50th anniversary of independence for Guyana, and the 35th anniversary of independence for Antigua and Barbuda. Prince Harry officially visited Barbados in 2010. However, this will be his first official visit to all of the other countries. The visit by Prince Harry comes more than a decade after his father, Prince Charles, visited Guyana. The Prince of Wales was also over a decade the patron of the Iwo International Centre. For the Evening News, Alexis Rodney.
President David Granger earlier today announced a $1 million donation to the Berbice High School to enhance the Information Technology Lab as the institution celebrates its 100th anniversary. Andrew Carmichael reports.
The school was opened on September 5th, 1916 and was run by the Canadian Presbyterian Church. Over the past century, the school has produced scores of distinguished Guyanese. Among them are former Minister of State in the Ministry of External Affairs, Minister of Justice and Minister of Foreign Affairs, and also former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Sir Sridhat Ramphal, former First Lady the late Viola Burnham, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Carl Greenidge, Minister within the Ministry of Education, Nicolette Henry, Dr. Tulsi Dayal Singh, and former Chief Labour Officer, Norman Semple. President David Granger, who attended a ceremony in observation of the 100th anniversary, noted that in the post-primary education era, several private secondary schools were established around the country, with BHS being one of the few to have survived.
The school, as you heard, was the first secondary school to be founded in the county. And for 100 years, it has remained a leader in secondary education. BHS unlocked the doors that were previously closed to poor people. It unveiled the potential for students to improve themselves. It unfolded new opportunities for them in society. Its graduates augmented professional skills throughout the country. The school remains one of the foremost in the region, which, as we know, here in East Berbice currently possesses 17 secondary schools, and Berbice High School is one of only 3 that attain the category of A grade.
Noting that BHS was the best performing school in Region 6 at the June sitting of the CSEC examinations, the head of state said there is a need for current students to continue to strive for excellence. During his address, he announced that government will donate $1 million towards the Information Technology Lab.
Guyana's capacity to compete in global markets will rely on our ability to innovate. Innovation requires that greater emphasis be placed in education, particularly STEM education. The greatest innovation in the global economy is in the scientific and information technology fields. And that is why today I would like to announce that the government of Guyana will give the Berbice High School $1 million to improve its computer laboratory.
Among the dignitaries were education officials, parliamentarians, past students, and First Lady Sandra Granger, who assisted Norman Semple to cut the symbolic 100th anniversary cake. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
Thanks, Andrew. Phoenix Park Housing Scheme Port Drawing West Bank Demerara on Saturday celebrated 50 years of existence and will commemorate with a month of activities. Details from Shemuel Fanfare.
Forming part of Guyana's Golden Jubilee celebrations, Phoenix Park's 50th anniversary was ushered in with song and dance, while residents also reflected on their achievements over the past years. The village is the home of State Minister Joseph Harmon, and it was fitting that he joined in the celebration, which was held at the PYARG Youth Building in Phoenix Park. Long-standing community member Garvey Harry revealed that the scheme, which was the brainchild of Henry Boville, Basil King, and Izzy White, was formed by means of self-help, whereby intended owners would assist in the construction of their homes.
applicants must have had a family and should not have owned his or her house. 75 families from throughout the country were identified to be members of the project.
Harry added that beach sand was transported from Virgin Ocean West Coast Demerara by way of tractors and trailers to the area. Addressing the audience, Minister Harmon reflected on the origins of the community, noting that the area was called Crab Bush before it was renamed.
When Phoenix Park was completed, the persons who were entitled to properties here were given the keys to a house. You weren't given a house lot, you were given the keys to a house, a complete house. So that the 75 persons who came here at the beginning of this Phoenix Park were all given houses based on a lottery. That spirit, I believe, is something that over the years, as we traverse as a nation, we seem to have lost that spirit of cooperativism, that spirit of self-help, of working together to ensure that you can build communities. We've lost that spirit and we now everybody looking for a house lot.
The state minister took the opportunity to donate radios to a few elderly members, as well as footballs to the football club in the area. Shemuel Fanfare, The Evening News.
Thank you very much, Shemuel. All schools across the country opened today as the new academic year 2016-2017 began, according to Acting Chief Education Officer Marcel Hudson. Details in this report.
Sessions at all public schools across the country were in full swing today as the new academic year of 2016-2017 began. The Chief Educational Officer stated that the turnout of students was much more than the ministry had anticipated, particularly in Georgetown. When the Evening News visited the schools, children were elated to be back in their classrooms, most of them stating that the first day was successful since they had a lot of work to do. However, students at some schools indicated that they were given little work.
And I'm in grade 6 Mocha, and my first day of school was great.
What subjects did you take?
I did mathematics, spelling, grammar.
I attend Christchurch Secondary. Today's my first day in Farm 2, which is actually fun for me.
The first day wasn't too hectic because it's something I'm accustomed to.
Last week, the Ministry of Education launched September as a month of education under the theme Each Child Matters. Stakeholders unite for enhancement of education. Reporting for the Evening News, Gianna Pearson.
This is the Evening News. More still ahead after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The 14 delegates vying for the coveted title of Miss Guyana Universe 2016 were on Sunday sashed by their respective sponsors during a sensational ceremony at the Gravity Lounge. Ramona Luthi reports.
The delegates will take center stage on September 17 for the grand coronation at the Guyana Marriott Hotel. On coronation night, the delegates will compete in several segments, including intelligence, evening gown, and swimwear. At the grand sashing ceremony on Sunday evening, the delegates took the opportunity to officially introduce themselves to the public.
I am Denisha Rogers. I am 23 years old, and I am a college graduate with my bachelor's in biology. I'm aspiring to be a radiation oncologist.
My name is Ashley John, 24. I am a broadcast media graduate and news anchor.
My name is Iman Jaising, and I am currently a psychology major at Shippensburg University in Pennsylvania.
Year positive, 19 years old, confidently beautiful. 2016 Miss Universe Ambassador, Melissa De Freitas.
I am Rafia Hussein, and I'm happy to be a part of 2016 Miss Universe Guyana.
Standing before you, I am Odessa Grogan, 24-year-old, who is advocating for child abuse awareness and prevention.
I am 24-year-old Ariel Baca. I'm currently an international law student whilst pursuing my goals as a model and an ambassador for suicide prevention with the Caribbean Voice.
I'm Zamira Kiffins, and it's a privilege to be here with 13 other talented and driven beauty ambassadors.
I am the talented, beautiful, fierce, shy, and very introverted 19-year-old Kelly Shikeli.
I'm Ashley Cameron. I love to fish and I love to cook, but I won't be opening a fish shop anytime soon. It also feels great not to be in uniform collecting you guys' taxes.
I am Soini Fraser, the firecracker, and I am going to take you on a passion journey with me as I place my main focus on enhancing the golden years of elderly Guyanese citizens.
I am Azia Kelly. I'm a finalist in the Miss Guyana Universe Beauty Pageant. I believe that I can make a difference by bringing to you the facts in human trafficking.
I am 19-year-old Malaya Russell. I grew up in a community where it is agricultural based. As such, I am a holder of a diploma in agriculture from the Guyana School of Agriculture.
These 14 beauties were first unveiled on the Miss Guyana Universe Facebook page and have since been part of a rigorous training program. At the ceremony, franchise holder Jyoti Hardat announced that come pageant night, patrons can expect an extravagant event with multiple cultural items in addition to the pageant. Ramona Luti reporting for the Evening News.
In another pageant, Brittany Singh, 20, was on Sunday crowned Miss India Guyana 2016 at the Guyana Marriott Hotel amid high drama. The event, which was organized within a short time frame, saw Singh, Tahiri Budu, 25, and Abigail Mohabir, 21, vying for the coveted title. The girls acquired 40% of the score through a public choice segment and the other 60 at the final audition on Sunday. Singh was speechless at the final results but overjoyed and grateful. She admitted that the competition was stiff as her competitors were all very beautiful and talented, expressing delight that she was able to win. She encouraged others who are considering taking the pageant route to chase after their dreams as anything is possible. She will represent Guyana later this month on the international stage. Still on the stage, Alia Wang, 14 of West Coast Demerara, was on Saturday evening crowned Miss Talented Teen 2016 at the National Cultural Center. Casey Coleman has the details on this report.
Outfitted in a dazzling Keisha Edwards gown, Wang prevailed over the other three finalists, Jerusha Farrell and Ayana Glasgow. The young woman also capped the Miss Congeniality Award for her bubbly personality and enchanting smile. Speaking with the Evening News, the young woman expressed her joy when her name was announced as the winner of the competition.
I was proud of myself actually because I've put so much work into this. I wanted it so bad, so I know that I pushed myself, late nights training, rehearsals by myself. So when my name, Alia Wang, was called for Miss Guyana Talented Teen 2016, I was a proud woman.
She noted that the entire experience was one that she would not forget.
It was an amazing learning experience. Basically, we just had fun in everything that we do, but at the same time, we know when to be focused and bring our A game.
She encouraged others that are hoping to travel her path to strive for what they want.
Be yourself and be confident. It's all about confidence and self-love, and the best person to be is you. So it's amazing experience when it comes to pageantry because it opens a lot of doors to opportunities.
Wang, who holds a black belt in karate, said that her favorite part of competing is the fact that she got to display her talent.
It had to be my talent because I got to express myself through my martial arts.
Reporting for the Evening News, Kizzy Coleman.
Thanks, Kizzy. Now for a look at what is happening inside the courts.
Joyce Lawrence of Law 306 Track X, Plantation Grove, East Bank, Demerara, was earlier today ordered to pay restitution to her niece at the sum of $884,000 or a default of 12 months in prison and an additional $50,000 or a default of 8 weeks in prison charged with trafficking in person. The woman has been on trial for the offense and was found guilty by the Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan today. The charges brought against her alleged that between December 12 and December 14, 2014, at Samantha Point, Grove, Lawrence had transported her niece, who was at the time a minor, by means of threat. It was further alleged that between December 1 and December 28, 2014, at a nightclub in Ishelton, Region 9, Lawrence again trafficked the minor by means of threat. And finally, she is accused of unlawfully withholding the girl's identification card while being her employer. McLennan declared that she was found guilty of all counts of the offense, that is to say, recruiting, transporting, harboring, and controlling her niece. Additionally, Dwayne Ford, 36 of 6 East Bushlot Housing Scheme, Anna Regina, was granted bail when he appeared before the Chief Magistrate, also being charged with trafficking in person. He pleaded not guilty to the charges, which alleged that between July 1 and August 30, 2016, at Anna Regina, he He pleaded not guilty to the charges which alleged that between July 1 and August 30, 2016, at Anna Regina, he engaged in trafficking in person, that is to say, he recruited, transported, harbored, and controlled 2 young girls. His lawyer made a successful bail application, and this was granted at $500,000 for each count. He will return to court on September 30, 2016. And finally, in the courts, Junior Gordon was fined when he appeared before Magistrate Alex Moore. His offense alleged that on September 1, 2016, at Lot 67 West Rumville, Georgetown, he assaulted and used threatening language and behavior towards Malika Smith. The prosecution contended that on the day in question, the defendant nailed boards across an outside toilet in the yard of which he shares with the virtual complainant, who is also his sister. When she questioned him about this, the agitated man threatened to kill her and reportedly assaulted her. The matter was reported and he was arrested. He pleaded not guilty to the assault charge and was granted $15,000 bail and was fined $20,000 for the other offense which he pleaded guilty to. He will return to court on September 30, 2016. That is a wrap for this edition of Evening News Inside of the Courts. I am Kizzy Coleman.
Join us after the break for your regional and international news. Stay with us.